Bonjour, it is I, Gatelord, of Flawless Music, or Cindy Studios. I want to talk about my game, SHRiMP, and everything you need to know about my game. You will witness how normal it is, how wholesome it is, how casual it is, and how tame it is. So, I'm a solo developer. This is my first full game I have made and completed in 2020. Development time took around 7 to 8 months. I started the development back in April 2020 and finished the game on November 24th. I did everything. I made the models, materials, animations, characters, the voice acting.
You were given many chances to offer yourself. You still have your chance. Why aren't you taking it? Maybe I can help guide you to the path God intends for you to be on.
Entities, programming, SFX, DUI elements to music, the level set pieces, the ambience, painted the models, and basically everything except for like a font. And maybe in the future I might add in particle effects that I'm not going to be using. I'm not too understanding with a bunch of particle effects, but there's some simple particle effects in the game that do make the game feel alive. I just don't know how to make super complicated ones just yet, but I would love to get into that. So when it comes to the characters, when it comes to the voice acting, sure, it's not the best thing ever, but you know what? I'm actually proud of this work. I am proud that this is my first full game that I've made. And you're probably wondering, wait, if you made this game nearly 5 years ago from this point, why talk about it now? Why wait this long to talk about it? The best answer I can give, it's my confidence and the mindset of people feel more open than previously. So back in 2020 when I developed this game and I put it out there, I was super happy because I spent so much of time and effort and care and passion into this game. And the moment I put it on Reddit, I was laughed at. When I contacted people, it's like I kept finding the wrong crowd. Now there's a crowd for everything, but it seems like when I tried to get people to see it, get people to understand it, I kept getting bombarded with people laughing at me. It's not like anybody hated it, it's just that people laughed at me. And it was degrading and it was humiliating. And it's like, wow, I spent all this time making it and this is what I'm getting back. And the people that did play the game absolutely enjoyed the game. They enjoyed it and they loved it. And when the game did come out, it did have a lot of problems. It had a wonky start. And people were very supportive. Now here are these comments I want to underline. And these are very constructive criticism that I saw. Some people were giving feedback of the game and they were saying it's really hard to play, it has problems, it has issues. And I went and did my best to fix these things. And I'm really proud that I did this. I'm glad I received criticism the way I did. Because as an artist, as a developer, you have to take criticism. And if you don't take criticism, then why are you doing what you're doing? You have to take criticism. If you don't take criticism for what you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You have to take that. You got to take it at face value. Like, sure, you have to be able to distinguish criticism and hate. Criticism and people that are just hating the game to hate on it. They're not all the same thing. And once you understand that they're all not the same, you'll understand what you need to listen to and what you don't have to listen to. Because if you have a lot of people that say something and that you need to fix something, then you should fix it. It's pretty simple. I feel like trying to follow these lines are simple if you don't have a big ego. So ego, you got to get rid of that. Having a lot of that just isn't going to help you in this kind of space. So since we're in 2025, I feel like people are more open to indie games, playing a lot of weird games, and just seeing what indie developers are up to. I feel like, my game, this SHRiMP game, is not AA, it's not AAA, it's quadruple A. It's up there with Bones and Boning. I don't know. I forgot the name of the game. It's up there with that game, Bones and Boning. I don't know. But look, seriously, I'm just one man, and I'm not saying this first game that I did is not remotely close to being better than a lot of AAA games or AA games from actual indie studios. I'm just one person that has a passion, that has a dream of just making games and trying to innovate. And I don't mind taking risks. I love taking risks. In fact, a lot of the ideas I have in my mind are all about risks, and I don't mind taking them. I will take them, and I will be the guinea pig if I have to. I don't mind. I will be the guinea pig in this equation. I don't want to spin this unrealistic narrative that I'm the alpha, the omega, the sigma male in the game development world. I'm not. I'm just one man with the mindset of just wanting to make games, you know? And a lot of games I want to make are pretty unique, and I want my games to be different. I want them to stand out. But I don't want different for the sake of being different. That's kind of like saying, it follows in line of saying change for the sake of change. You know, change for the sake of change, it's not good, you know? Halo is the epitome of this. Look at Halo. They change for the sake of change. So I'm not trying to be different for the sakes of being different. No, I feel like there's a reason. You have to have a reason for something. And a lot of my games are really weird. And I want to try to innovate. I want to offer an experience to people that don't rely on a same formula, that don't rely on an oversaturated market. And that's the cool thing about being risky, is you're making something that's in a market that's not so saturated, but you do have the risk of finding the audience. That's the hard part, because my audience is the people who play the game. So whoever plays it, that's my audience for SHRiMP. That's just how strange it is to me. So yeah, this game is a very small achievement of mine. It's a small achievement with a nice personality. Hey, just like me. So out of all these years, 5 years passed by as I developed this game, why only this one? Like, why is this the only game under my belt after all this time? Well, if you want a summary of what happened through the years from 2020 to now, this is the summary. This is why.
I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I go home, I go to sleep.
So calling myself a successful person is just too laughable. I'm not successful. I'm just a person who has a hobby of making games. But I would like to turn this into a full-time thing if I can at some point. But I got a new computer, and this computer, I think it's plausible. I just gotta work really hard. I gotta put myself on that grind set. I gotta become a Sigma male. I gotta become more Sigma than I've ever been in my life. But what is this abomination of a game even about? Well, you play as a shrimp, that's it. Or is it? This game is a third-person platformer where you play as a shrimp collecting cars, listening to tunes, gathering coins, and trying to complete this ritual you were assigned to do by this mysterious voice.
I have chosen you for the ritual. You will know all of the ritual in time. Collect the cards, and the rest eventually.
The music in the game is the only safe haven for the shrimp. The music dissolves away anxiety. Too much will ensure a heart attack and kill the shrimp. You can drown in toxic water, drown in acid, fall to your death, interact with these strange critters, die by hunting figures, and secret entities. There's an in-depth lore mechanic in the game, completely optional, where you can analyze and read the lore on the cars, the lights, the items, the environments, and just some other interactable items. And unfortunately, the lore you consume from the so-called Gnosis of Zentroa, the gods, or the fragmented angel, is missing lots of things from its sources. So, you go to Sobriquet, this other person, this other entity. And Sobriquet is one of the most important characters in the game. You basically go to him for nearly everything. If you have questions over music, questions over the entities that you come across, he is the person that you want to go to. He has the answers to a lot of things. But unfortunately, the questions that he answers, the questions you give him will give you answers, and these answers will make you have more questions. There's just so much abstraction happening in this game. It's insane. There's a lot of insanity to this game. In SHRiMP, you gather these things called Sinoids, and Sinoids can be used to purchase cosmetic items and music. So you can purchase headwear, you can purchase skins for the SHRiMP, or you can just go ahead and buy music discs. So there's also something called a chromatic splitter, which is just a fancy currency converter. There's 3 different currencies in the game currently, and no, there's no microtransactions. It's just that each currency has its own purpose and unique thing to it, such as the codex. The codex stone is there for lore, so if you want to unlock things with lore, that's the codex stone. If you want to upgrade this, so the SHRiMP has something called a scanner, where you can scan for different items in the game. So like if you're trying to find all the cars, since the game is about collecting cars, part of this ritual, you're not going to be able to find all the cars. It's going to be kind of difficult. So the SHRiMP has a built-in scanner to where you can find the cars, and it's just, you start off with this scanner mechanic, and I do love this mechanic in the game. In fact, you can upgrade this mechanic using pulsar rooms. After you pass level 4, you have access to Sobriquet's place after you pass level 4, and once you have access to his place, you can upgrade the scanner using the modular modem. So the modular modem is a way to upgrade the scanner in the game. There's a lot of different options, and it's really nice. I love the fact that I added this system in a later update. And I've actually added this update because of criticism that I received of the game being too hard to find the cars. And I was like, you know what? These people are right. They are right. It is hard to find the cars. So let me make this for you. And I'm glad I made this. So not only can you buy stuff from Sobriquet's place, you can also find things around. You can find cosmetic items, you can find music discs, you can find a lot of secrets. So you find DNA, these DNA strands, and you use it to evolve. And no, it's not a complex system. It's just like there's a level you play, it has a DNA strand, and then you evolve. So the evolution is very linear in the game. It's not like it's a branching thing where you pick what can be evolved. Sure, that sounds really nice, but listen, it's my first game, so there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I know. So this system isn't so complicated. You just find an ability, you collect it, and the game automatically gives you what you're gonna evolve with. So that's it. So this game does have many different environments, such as the overworks, the city districts, the libraries, the pouring ruins, flesh pits, and just other various environments. And the entities are different in this game. I wanted to make sure in the sandbox of SHRiMP that the entities have a purpose. Each one does. So Dead Jester, Porcelain Ghost, False Car, and Invalid Parser. So these are all the entities currently in the game so far. As of now, there's more coming soon. Do not worry. So Invalid Parser is such a hard entity, I put him on the harder difficulties. So this game has level difficulties and a game difficulty and a level difficulty, because the platforming can be difficult on some levels, so I decided to add in a mechanic to where you can change the level difficulty. And having a lower level difficulty is nice because it reduces the amount of cars that spawn. It dynamically would adjust what cars should spawn and what cars don't. It was kind of a hard system to create, but hey, I'm glad I did it. So not only is there a level difficulty and a game difficulty, there is also a peaceful mode. So if you're someone who is really scared of coming across these entities and you just want to play the game for the atmosphere and just to try it out and not be too scared, you can play it on relinquish mode. It's the peaceful mode of the game and you can just chill. But when you play it on this mode, there are no secrets. I have disabled secrets because I want to keep it fair. So if you want to look for secrets, do not play relinquish mode. Having an issue learning the game, well, that's called a skill issue. Nah, I'm just playing. So there's a guide system in this game in case you don't know how to play the game or you forget about how certain things work. So not only is there a guide in the game, there's also tutorial levels. And like I said before, if you have trouble finding cars, there's a built-in scanner system that should help you out. So all these three things combined should help you have a more tangible experience of SHRiMP. Now, the guide and the tutorial levels are not through and through 100%. I'm pretty sure I missed things, but I am trying to work on making this game as buttery smooth as possible for people to learn to play and to just get soaked in this weird abstract world. So you can fly in this game. I forgot to mention that. You can fly as a SHRiMP. You can collect music discs. You can find cosmetics, explore levels for secrets, find secret notes, look at the incredible fan art that the fans of this game have made. You can explore the lore index, look at the items, learn about things from Sobriquet. Playing the little winter event I made. Sadly, this is the only event. I made that like 2 years ago. I do want to make more events. I am very wholeheartedly sorry this is the only event, okay? I did make this video. Please look at it. This is an important video because it talks about why I stopped making content for a while. It's important to me. It's super important. Please watch it. So now that I explained all this, why should you play my game? Honestly, man, that's up to you. It's a game completed and not an early access one. I hate early access games with a passion because I fear them. I honestly do fear early access games because I had early access games before, and when I did, the developers never finished it, and it stayed like that. And one game is Grav. I enjoyed Grav, this game right here, and it's stuck. It's stuck like this. It's not going to change. And I don't want to do that to people. I'm not saying early access games are bad, but it's a gamble. You don't know. You don't know if the developers are going to finish it or not. So when I made this game, it was done from the start. It was finished as soon as I put it on Steam. It was finished. I did not want to early access this game because I felt like I was shooting myself in the foot if I did that. So SHRiMP is $9.99 on Steam, and I support this game with free additional content whenever I can. And this game does mean a lot to me. Like, there's people who put in so many hours in this game, and I just want to show my thanks. And the way I show my thanks is by providing free content in this game. So if you're interested that I dish out content for this game and you like what you heard, so why not try it out? So I would suggest you try it out if you are interested into it. Oh, another thing I gotta mention is that on level 12 and I believe level 14, those levels with the gondola, it's kind of broken when you switch it to the new version. The new version's kind of broken. It breaks Sobriquet's pathing. So please, when you play these levels, play the classical version, because play with the classical version of the gondola. You can go in the preferences settings and switch it, because the new one is kind of broken, and I need to fix that in the next update. I can't roll it out. I did fix it, but I cannot roll it out because it would break a lot of things, because I'm adding in a bunch of new systems, and I have to finish these systems, finish this new level 10, and then after I do all this stuff, then this will be fixed once that update rolls out. It's just that there's a lot going on right now. I can't just put the update out, even though I fixed it. It's just, there's a lot to do. So I hope you enjoyed my video. That's everything you need to know about my game SHRiMP, as of now, as of late, as of the publishing of this video. So thank you for watching. Adios.